As people start to develop more racial consciousness and awareness of how the races truly are different, there's a lot more racism. And it seems, I don't think it's really like socially accepted, but it's become like the new edgy. And to the people who think that racism is edgy, y'all haven't earned the right to be racist, most of you. I'm just speculating. I mean, I don't know if I want to address you guys directly, if I even am addressing you directly. I don't know. Talking to YouTube. So racists most of the time have not earned the right to be racist. Like, I understand racist thinking, like when you're basically like walking around, you're like, like there's so much that we could do with everything in society. Like, why aren't people doing more? Why are people victims of learned helplessness the way that they are? Why can't people maintain family dynamics? Like, what's going on here? And there's a tendency to, like, you could start saying, oh, it's this race or that race or this race. And the thing is, though, like the people that do that, the people that look around and say, oh, things aren't what they could be and it's this race, like those people specifically almost entirely haven't earned the right to be racist. They're not actually competent enough, successful enough, athletic enough, hardworking enough, honest enough people that they have the right to be racist. They kind of suck. You know what I mean? It's like, if like Albert Einstein wanted to be racist, you'd be like, yeah, maybe he's got a point. Like the dude, like he did the relativity thing. Like if Napoleon wanted to be a racist, you'd be like, well, he is like one of the greatest human beings at anything ever of all time. It's like, okay. But it's just like these like weird little people. And I'm like, dude, like you have not earned that right. I'm not saying there aren't specific problems in specific racial communities, but it's like you haven't earned that right. And also, as far as I'm concerned, Albert Einstein is the only Jew that has the right to be racist, because I think that there's this Jewish supremacy sort of thinking that proliferates. And it really just leads to the sort of very, very obvious complacency that's evident in the Jewish community. It's like, you guys are a really successful minority, like great job on that. Like I want to admire your great politicians for something a little bit more than simply being like super duper duper politically conniving. You know what I mean? It's just like, like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys got the conniving, planning, networking thing down. And that's hard. But if you want to be racist, you've got to innovate. You've got to, like, build interplanetary travel. You've got to win Olympic gold numerous times in different events while like doing great work in business, not to make yourself money, but to make other people rich the way Henry Ford did. I think a lot of Henry Ford's anti-Jewish sentiments were a byproduct of his old age senility. I think that after devoting his considerable brain power to improving the lives of every individual person on Earth, and his employees relentlessly for 40 straight years while innovating industry and creating what we called American freedom, which surprisingly has been going away since there's no longer a character like Ford out there with the amount of success Ford has. But that's my job, Yeah, I'm going to do that. Because I'm that successful dude who's earned the right to be racist. Who isn't? Because I look at smart black dudes and I'm like, they're smarter than you. Like, you're this like white guy who's racist. But like, this guy's smarter than you and more successful than you. And now I'm not saying that like there aren't tremendous problems with like Africa as a thing that exists. Like, I'm not saying that Africa isn't a problem. I'm not saying that, but I don't think it's a problem solved by blowing up Africa. Like, that's really not going to help anyone. There's reasons why it exists, and we have to explore those in other videos. I guess to bring it all back around, it really just is the point that like racists haven't earned the right to be racist. Like, you have to like go be a George Washington, go actually create freedom. And like, the people that are the most racist are the people that like, well, there's a lot of problems with what George Washington did. These people have political power, and even if they're not overtly racist, they're like my brother's elementary school teacher who said, um, you can't be racist against white people because there's nothing wrong with them.